I'm super ready. I'm almost. I might jump through the phone. Heck yeah.
All right, ready?
Heck, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody back to the Built Different Show, episode 2. I'm here with Wolfie. I'm here with Ricky. I'm of course your host Tom, and we're back with some sports. We got the NBA playoffs heating up. MLB is about to be done with month 1. The draft is actually, as we record this, the draft is actually a few days away. So we got a lot to talk about here.
Man.
How are you guys doing today? I'll say this. I'm feeling all right. The Knicks are doing well in the playoffs. You know, we're up 2-0. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river, Philadelphia. I don't care if the calls weren't called. I don't give a shit. The Knicks are up. Bing bong. And C.J. Abrams is a superstar this year. So, you know.
Oh, that part.
Yeah. That part.
Gotta get that out. Mhm. Oh yeah, mashing.
How you guys doing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, fantastic! Like you said, the city's on fire. The Knicks is putting shit in a chokehold, playing to the identity of the coach. Now people love Tibbs. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
I won't love Tibbs until we get to the finals.
I know, but all that minute stuff, I feel like the minute stuff really took away from a great story. He's a really great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
And I think the Derrick Rose injury, that kind of threw some smut on his name, but that's not the here nor there. I feel fantastic. We've had a great start to this baseball season.
I agree.
Sports is just kind of lit in general. But yeah, baseball's been more than I could ask to start off
No,
the season.
absolutely.
We're not even done with the month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Wolf,
he's
what up,
right.
man? Ow!
Yeah, good to be back, boys. And I agree with you. And just to like tune into something that, like, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of the sport. Like, I like the sport. It's just my, fourth most right now. But even New York hockey is actually in like a crazy spot right now. Obviously, Islanders a little behind right now. Gave up a big lead the other day. But between them, Knicks, Mets won today. Yankees about to win. You got some draft news coming up for football. Like, honestly, New York sports is finally in like not a big stretch, but just a good stretch right now that we can at least enjoy all around.
It's been a while. It's been a fucking while.
The Giants.
It's been a long time, bro.
Got a question for you, Wolf. Why don't you lead this segment off? What is your top 3 craziest stats in sports? Could be any sport. What are your? And it's not. We're not talking NASCAR here, though. But
as in stats, like, is it just like impressive? Like
anything.
Oh man, that's like actually a really good one. All right, I guess with like baseball, like not to be, you know what? I'm gonna go with something weird. You know what's one of my favorite stats of baseball that doesn't get enough recognition is stolen bases. That's my first stat that I think is just like, amazing. Definitely
made a resurgence last year.
Yeah, because with Ricky Henderson, with all these top like let's just say this, the top stat of stolen bases, that'll never get beaten. I don't think.
Yeah,
ever.
like literally
maybe with the rule changes
over
it
a
right, but
20-year
even then
career,
you have to change the rules to do it.
I mean, players aren't really getting a 20-year careers, but over a 20-year career, you have to get like almost 100 stolen bases every fucking year to break that.
Yeah,
and now
I think on
kind of just
average he was about 76.
Yeah,
which that's like Acuna last year, every year for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go ahead and say it now, and I know this is completely kind of unrelated to stats, but I think the players back in the day were definitely on either crack or they were on, they were on something, man. You're not going to convince me that
moonshine, man.
These players today,
that tough alcohol.
These players today can't pitch
you drink
innings.
that tough alcohol, you playing 150.
The pitchers can't pitch today. The hitters can't play 162. Like, none of these records are going to get broken because these guys aren't fucking superhuman like these guys were back in the day. I mean,
they had milk delivered to their house from. Come on, man! They had milk delivered right to the door. It was right. Come on, man.
Dude, they were smoking cigarettes at 12 years old. Like, this is different what I'm talking about. And you know what it is too? Like, it just with toughness wise, I think of what it was. I think it's just like tough. Like, were they throwing 100 every guy? No, some guys were. Were they hitting 50 home runs a year? No, but they also weren't striking out. They were playing hard-nosed defense. They were hustling down the line. It was just like a different game. And when you actually exercise and play like that for years, you get tougher. That's why you did have these guys in their later years still putting up numbers. I mean, Julio Franco played till he was what, like
48,
50? Yeah, 48.
Jamie Moyer.
50, like
No,
48,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, 49, 48.
plus they, and the fact that they weren't throwing as hard, they were strengthening. I mean, 95, 94 back then was hard, but they had the strength to go all game for 20 years. It's like they were a different breed.
fucking
Right.
different breed altogether.
But by the way, quick though, just to jump off of that though with the next stat, because this is actually a different breed guy too. You kind of jog my memory on this. You know what's a crazy stat that'll never ever get beaten is the hit streak. They'll never beat the hit streak.
I don't know.
56?
I think it will.
Joe DiMaggio, 56.
I think it'll get broken.
I think it's either 56 or 53.
It's 56.
Uh,
56.
56.
It's 56.
The
Yeah,
gang
okay.
fan here will tell you. 56.
Yeah.
I think it will.
That I don't think we'll.
I
ever
think
get
it will.
beat.
I think if there's one stat that seems untouchable, I think that's the least untouchable of all of them. Only reason I say that is like, I don't know, man.
They haven't even gotten close, dude. I think
You
the
know
closest has
what?
been in the 30s.
I think you know what's well. I think before the internet, that hit record would have been a little easier to obtain. I think now with everyone like, oh my God, he's at 30, and then all these talking heads on TV. But the
No,
added pressure,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It would take the right. It would have to take the right mentally tough and mindset of a player, not just talent, to be able to block out the noise that's going to come with that as they're getting closer to that mark. Because we saw back then, what happened to Roger Maris.
what was that player on the
without the
Dodgers,
internet.
man?
Dude was
Like, Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier. Remember when he had like 30
wow.
and like the media started swarming him and he started like flipping off the media and shit? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
The
he
media
started bugging
gets
out.
real
And
crazy when they
he
get towards
was
30.
never right after that. He was never right after that. He became a fourth outfielder. I don't know what happened to do fifth outfielder out the outfield.
And that's
Anyway.
the thing too. It's not even just an on base streak; it's a hit streak, which is even crazier to think about. Because like I think Wilson Ramos for the Mets in 21 or whatever it was, 19, he had like a 27, but I think it was an on base. I don't think it was a hit.
Well, I
But
mean,
like just to think about doing it with hits, that's crazy.
well, the thing that sucks is like these teams, they don't want to be the ones to extend the streak, so they'll just straight up walk these guys. Like if a guy goes up and walks 4 times, like that's it. Your streak is fucking done, buddy. Like-
Yeah. But I think at the same time, I don't think a guy's gonna get walked unless he's a power hitter. But I think the only thing that really would keep a guy really from that, you got a lot of managers that don't play guys every day too. I mean, there's a lot of out of rhythm stuff. A lot of specialization. Yo, it would have to take like Luis Arias.
Arise.
Arias.
Arise.
Oh, I stake it. I'm never gonna get his name right.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna take a special hitter, man. Like to just block out everything in the pursuit. Because once it gets to 40, 40, it's gonna be chaos. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna turn on your TV, and he's gonna be one of the first things that they talk about. So. Yeah, it's beyond just the physical.
And what's the third
Shout
one,
out to
Wolf?
whoever could do it.
Yeah, so to cap this off, I was like thinking, because I'm trying to think of other sports here and there, but the problem with a lot of other sports, and we've seen it recently, is a lot of these stats are getting beaten by compilation. Like LeBron with the points. Mahomes is going to, let's be honest, Mahomes is going to break most of Tom Brady's records if he plays at this pace. So it's not like they're as surprising. But I guess just to go back to baseball, because that's even the same thing too. I was going to say complete games, but you'll just never see that again. It's a different game. But the one stat I'll actually throw out, because it did pop to my head because we've seen it recently, I would like to see if someone can do it clean and beat Barry Bonds' record. Because there was some... Because Judge did it with the AL, with Maris and all that, and he says that's the real record. But I would like to see if someone can actually hit 80 home runs-ish in a season without, like... any controversy.
I mean, I think the thing with that is it goes back to your last stat as well, is that it's the media pressure because like Well, let's look at someone like Giancarlo Stanton, right? Stanton was in the headlines a lot when he was a Marlin because he would get to a certain point of the season, have a lot of home runs, be on pace, but then the media would just swarm him and he would just go on cold stretches and he wouldn't get there. And Aaron Judge last year, I mean,
Or have that weird
what Aaron
injury
Judge went
that
the last
knocks him out of
he went like 15 to 20 straight games without breaking that record, the AL record. Imagine if he hit like 10 home runs in that span. We would have been talking Barry Bonds. He would have been close.
Yeah, and that's also when it wasn't in the. Granted, there was speculation that his last month was, but also too. I would also like to see these guys do it in like an era where it's not juice balls. Like if Yelich did it in that era, I would have been like, really?
It would have been history, though.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
everything got to have an asterisk.
I'm not against that, but like I'm saying, like it would be pretty
Jeff
cool,
Bagwell.
like to see it just like in a now era.
All right, so
Jeff Bagwell and that strike shortened season, 9-4. I think in like 111 games, he hit 39. Like he was on a stupid pace.
Technically, someone is on pace for it right now. There's two guys on pace for it right now, which is Trout and Ozuna.
Yo, imagine Marcell Ozuna
they
breaks the
hold
home run record.
Yo, that would be.
Or even if he just wins an MVP, I'd be like, wow.
No, and I don't know if I should be saying this, but literally, so I'm trying to get my fiance into baseball, and we watch baseball recaps every night of most of the games that play. Like we're not gonna watch like the Athletics or anything like that, but so when Marcell Ozuna comes up, every time he comes up, I'm like, oh, he beats his wife, and then like he gets a hit, I'm like, and he beats the baseball too.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's so hard to root for him.
We can always delete that. Don't worry.
But I'll go with my three. My first one is I got Will Chamberlain averaging 50 points and 25 rebounds a game. The craziest part is that he didn't even win MVP that season. That's how much they factored winning into the MVP convo for basketball. But Will Chamberlain, man, I wish I was alive for that. Like, I'll just say it, like 50 points per game, 25. I don't care who you're playing with. I don't care who you're playing against. To do that over the length of an NBA season is ridiculous. I don't even care. It's ridiculous. Number two, I'm going with Barry Bonds at the age of 39. And I think we had a segment before where we kind of marveled over this. But just to put it in perspective, this is 39-year-old Barry Bonds. I don't know, like, y'all saw 39-year-old Albert Pujols running around like he was wearing a diaper. Miguel Cabrera falling apart, can't even hit home runs anymore. But here's Barry Bonds at 39 who played 147 games, but he was walked so many times that he only registered 373 at-bats. And
yeah, that was
stupid. Still hit 45
crazy.
home runs, 101 RBIs, like 362 batting average, 609 on base percentage, 1.422 OPS. Still had like it's in 120 intentional walks. 120 times this guy got up and they were like, yeah, man.
You'll never see that again.
At 39, bro. I don't care about steroids. I don't care about none of that. At 39 years old, Barry Bonds.
That's Javier Baez's career walk total right there. Like, I'm pretty sure. Just the intentional walks.
Oh my
of
god.
that season.
I mean, let's just say this. Even with or without steroids, that has to be like the craziest like peak of going into like someone's older years. I mean, I guess Brady, maybe he could be up there, but like there's not many that get that much.
We're gonna look back and be like, wow, LeBron dropped the 25, 7, and 8 at 39 also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it won't be held to the same regard as this. This is cartoon.
No, this is like LeBron averaging like a 30-point triple-double at 39 or like something even crazy, like a 35-point triple-double.
While shooting 60% and 50% from three.
Which is the only reason, too. It's like, I do tip my cap to like Barry for doing that at his age. But then there's also that part of me that thinks, like, yo, imagine if some of these other athletes at their age were doing, like, some steroids. Like, yo, imagine if, like LeBron was juicing right now and doing that. Like,
no, because if LeBron started juicing right now, he'd play till he was 50, bro.
Dude, it'd be wild to see because then he'd be like 44 doing anything.
We could just stay in baseball and go to one of the clean boys. Imagine Griffey on the juice. Imagine Jeter on the juice.
Oh my God! Imagine Alex Rodriguez on the juice. No.
Oh, that would have been nuts, yo. Like,
no, but
next level.
No, imagine like Aaron Judge in 2022 on the juice when he did hit what he hit without it. Dude, he probably could have hit 100 home runs.
You know what's funny? That year he had a lot of warning track fly balls, which is crazy. He had a normal amount of warning track flyouts on the 60 homer season.
So I'll quickly,
you give him the juice. He probably finished with 88.
I was gonna say I think he would easy crack 80. I would say in the 80s range he would hit.
He would have cracked 80.
And I know everybody's gonna come out with it's like, yo, I know steroids don't just magically make you better, but for someone like him that already has.
I mean, all Aaron Judge needs,
we're gonna get a parental advisory stick.
All Aaron Judge needs is to get rid of that hole in his bat, and I think he could break the record. I'm not gonna lie.
Because every fly ball would be an extra.
If he didn't strike out so much, man, like if Aaron Judge had an eye, like vision, he would. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd break the record.
No.
He
has an eye. He doesn't have great discipline.
Eye discipline, whatever it is, whatever he's seeing that he's swinging at balls in the dirt and balls way above the strike zone, whatever it is, he needs to get rid of it, and he'll probably be one of the greatest hitters ever.
No, you know what would make him one of the greatest baseball players? Oh, yeah, he definitely will. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Well, I also think that'll help with his patience, too. But you wouldn't make Judge literally one of the best baseball players ever if he was, like, 4 inches shorter. If he was, like... I'm not even joking.
No, I know.
Would shrink his strike zone, which is, like, one of his... Dude, how many times over the last 4 years have you seen the call at the knees? And he's just so big that it's just like I give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like, what is he gonna do? Like, dude, if he was like 6'2", 3, yeah,
he gets caught looking a lot. Yeah. I don't see a whole bunch of swing and miss, Aaron Judge. He gets caught looking a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it ain't like Giancarlo.
But quickly for my third, know
why he's walking.
And this isn't necessarily. This isn't so much a stat. This is just kind of what happened. But when Bob Feller was out here almost winning the MVP, ERAs in the high 2s, and then he went to war, handled his business out there, and then he came back and had the best year of his career in 1946. I think that's pretty fucking crazy. Like you were killing it in baseball, then literally killing in the war, and then you just came back. And I mean, he didn't have his career wasn't great after that one great year after coming back, but I mean, shit, Bob Feller was a guy. Just go look it up, you'll see it. I mean, 26 and 15, 2.18 ERA, started 42 games, completed 36 of them. 371 innings. I don't know.
Ricky,
dudes were nuts.
I heard a lot about from just readings about guys that faced him and what they had to say about him, and it was the utmost respect. The utmost respect.
I mean, Ted Williams did it too.
I feel like you wouldn't even want to hit off of him.
Ted Williams did it too.
A lot of the guys did, dude. A lot of them did. And I was about to say this, the first pitcher that came to my mind, because he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. Could you imagine Garrett Cole
going to war?
After and years later coming back? I'm not even joking you. I actually can barely think of one player currently that I could even see doing that.
Caitlyn Clark got drafted to Indiana, in the WNBA, and she's gonna get paid a whopping $400,000 per year or whatever. But Nike came through and delivered her a 10-figure contract. So Caitlyn Clark is gonna get the bag from Nike. She's gonna get her own shoe. She's kind of changing the game.
Much deserved. About time.
How do we feel about all this shit?
Yeah.
She's a lightning rod. She deserved it. for better or worse. Even if she's a bust, I like to see this. I like to see it. Like, because I think at one point, and just listening from other, people regarding Caitlyn Clark, a lot of people felt like, all right, Nike, you used to kind of stick your neck out for like the next prospect, elevate them, promote them to the masses, and they used to build the star. They used to build the superstar. And for about a good 20 years, ever since LeBron came through, it's been more, all right, who is the can't miss? We'll invest in them and go from there because we know we'll get a return on our investment. For them to, because listen, as great as Caitlyn Clark is, there still is room for failure here. And I'm not a hater. I'm not the one that wants failure. I'm just saying there's a chance. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here.
We're getting canceled this whole video.
It's about to look like this real soon. Like just two people here. But I'm saying, if she becomes a six man, that's a great career. Like, that's a great career. There ain't no shame in that. Jamal Crawford is on podcast right now. He is revered. People love him. He is like Mr. Six Man. But if she becomes a six man, just how we talk about men, that would be an abject failure. And I think she's going to kill it. I think she's going to damn near drop 30, 35. She's going to be the Pete Maravich of her sport. But I could also see people not tuning in, too. Like, I don't think it's a set in stone that people are going to run out and buy her shoe, run out and watch these games. I like to hear that people are buying these tickets, but I still don't know at this point. I would like to come back to this in like another calendar year to see where the arrow was pointing. But for Nike to say, yeah, we're going to put this money in your hand without knowing that they're going to get, a return on this, they may get something immediate that makes them feel good. May have them looking at projections. But for them to give her that money and there's no guarantee on, I think she'll be fine. I'm trying not to get canceled. That's why I'm talking like this. But she'll be fine. But there's still no guarantee on what the return on the investment may be.
I'll say this.
For Nike to do that, I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. Man.
I'll say this. I'll say that I absolutely love the move,
and Under
guarantee
Armour,
or not.
You should be embarrassed. You lowballed her crazy. She should have spit on y'all.
Now,
compared to what Nike gave her? Oh, nah.
Did you see what Adidas actually offered her?
What they offered?
So I just looked this up because I've been reading an article on her today. It was 16 for 4 for Under Armour and 6 for 4 from Adidas.
Yeah, them. Oh God, yeah. Adidas, what are you doing? Get out the room. Get out the room. It's grown people talking. Get out the room.
I think they left the room when Derrick Rose and John Wall
said. Go call Kanye right now.
And to her defense, the Nike one is actually good for longevity because if she doubled the Under Armour one, it's $4 million more, but you don't know if you're getting that after the 4 years. To Ricky's point, so.
But what I'll say is
Nike just has more of a global reach than Under Armour. There's more potential for them to get a return on their investment, but it's still women's pro basketball. That's why I'm just like, I got to see how this play out. I know I'll be watching, but are y'all gonna watch? You won't cancel me, but are y'all gonna watch? Don't come for me.
I get my thoughts.
Indiana Fever is gonna be on my TV. Are y'all gonna watch? So don't come for me.
It probably won't be on my TV, but I'll still talk about it. Yeah, my opinion on the whole Caitlyn Clark situation is that I honestly really like that Nike did this, and the reason why I like it is just because, listen, everyone is trying their hardest to get the WNBA to where it needs to be, right? The college basketball, the way they advertised their women this year was great because she's not the only name. Like Angel Reese, her jersey's already sold out. And that's not even the beginning. Like we got Paige Bucher. We got so many people, so many women that got some fame this year and got paid from NCAA and everything, right? On top of that, NBA, They did whatever they did, whatever to get it up there. I think honestly, whether or not she's good or not, I think Nike is kind of showing these women that if you ball, we're gonna reward you in some way, shape, or form. If you ball and can make a name for yourself, we will reward you. And I think in the end, it's just gonna keep producing athletes like it did this year that are gonna keep thriving, that are gonna keep doing well. And I think eventually, if it doesn't this year, at some point in time, this is going to translate into the WNBA, and there's going to be a flourished amount of talent throughout that league. If it's not today, I'd say at least by the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be so much talent, because the issue before is that these companies weren't giving out contracts no matter who it was. Like I made the point on the last podcast with Maya Moore. She dominated college, and I didn't hear her after that. I didn't hear a single thing about Maya Moore after college, and she dominated the WNBA, right? So Brittany Griner, she dominates the WNBA, but you don't hear about her until she goes to fucking Russia. So
my God,
yeah,
Brianna Stewie wins 4 championships in 4 years at the biggest school in women's college basketball, and not a peep as a pro.
Do you guys even know what team Brittany Griner plays for?
Oh, don't ask. Don't do Phoenix Mercury. She's still
I
there.
Can't remember.
I don't say that with confidence. I don't say that with confidence, but I think.
But you're right. It just shows to the marketing. But you know what it is too is that, first off, agreed, both of you guys. The fact that Nike did it without even her taking a shot in the WNBA is wild and good for them. And either way, she's going to make so much money on endorsements and stuff. But the problem is that. Well, let me say this. Her and the organization she plays for is going to make bank this year.
Yeah.
Midwest girl.
At least the first few months of the season, most of her games will be sold out. If not the whole season, I think. The problem is the other teams in the league. That's where I think it's really going to hurt them, because it's not like... Don't get me wrong, there's some good talent out there, but you're talking like 5-on-5. It's not 1-on... Like,
that's why it won't be on my TV.
Just NBA. Well, think about the NBA. Like, all right, we got LeBron. Like, imagine if it was just LeBron. And I'm not saying there aren't good women. I'm just saying, like, imagine if there was only like 4 good players or 5 or 6 like that are really, really good.
But that's the thing. There are so many. There are many talented WNBA players.
But I want to see this level. That's what I'm saying, because I'll even say this. I'm not a big college sports fan, and I actually paid, and if I usually do, it's like college men's football. I paid more attention to, like, at least, I didn't watch maybe full games, but I at least watched a ton of highlights of her, more than any men's college basketball by far. But it's that I wasn't watching the other teams, though. Like, I just wasn't as, like, there were some players I watched, Angel Reese I watched too, but it's just like, especially when there was the big rivalries going on, I watched, but other than that, I just didn't get, like, there was a lot of lackluster play in other parts of the game that weren't getting enough attention, which is why I feel like, like I said, I do want to see maybe in 6-7 years the pool of players gets better, but until then, that's just the only thing holding me back. Quick question, though, and I doubt, no, it's probably not. Do you think there's ever, like, say if she goes to the WNBA, right, and she's, like, a league above everybody else? I'm talking,
she's going.
A league above, I mean, where it's, like, almost unfair. Do you think there's ever a shot she could get into the NBA?
Well, like, first off, before I answer that, no, actually, I'll answer that. No.
That's what I figured. That's why I started off by saying no. But
the reason why it's a no,
or at least painful.
Well, it's because they have a WNBA and they have an NBA. That's the only reason why. Like, we could see a women's we could see a women's player in, like, MLB. Like, we could see that one day. NFL, no, just because of the physicality, but
I don't know, man. I was actually going to say, I think NFL actually could be one of the top ones, because I think you could see a woman kicker.
Okay.
I actually think there's a great chance.
Yeah, and then they get, like, tackled.
The only
like,
thing that bothers me about
that
is if what happens to this woman if the kick is blocked.
Yeah.
And now we're in the scrum.
I know. Well, like I said, that's why I'm thinking, like, all other sports too, but I'm trying to think of, like, positions that I could see. Like you said, baseball, I'm trying to think of other sports that don't have that league That's the only one where I could really see if they do come to the NFL. Baseball, I can
I
see
think
though.
I think what we're witnessing right now with the WNBA is where the NBA was before Wilt Chamberlain came in. Like right before it, there
That's a
was
good point.
bunch of these teams, very minimal star players like Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Billy Cunningham, maybe few superstar. Like I gotta take my kid to this guy in another state. I have to see him. Like she, I think is the first marquee of the sport, and we basically got to rewind our brains back like 60 years to how when the NBA first got Wilt in them. It's gonna take more than that. It's definitely gonna take more than that. Eventually, they got an Oscar Robertson and a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and you were able to have a rivalry. See, rivalries
I agree.
really build the cachet.
I agree.
So Caitlyn Clark can't come into this league and just kill like you say. She has to either become a villain or become a hero to some villain or to some hero.
She might be the
That's
Dale
why I'm
Earnhardt
hoping
of the
that with
WNBA. In the playoffs, Tyrese Maxey was named Most Improved Player yesterday. Naz Reid was named the Sixth Man of the Year today. So we got a little bit to talk about. When it comes to the playoffs,
I ain't like it.
huh?
I love Tyrese Maxey. I actually love him more than Cody White, but he did not deserve that award. Since when are we giving people that award for shooting more, for just having the ball more? That's all he did.
I mean,
he shot worse from the field. He shot worse from three. He had the ball more because Harden was in there, so his assists went up. His points went up.
Really
he shot more.
I thought he should have won it last year, to be honest. Like he wasn't even.
He should have won it last year.
But I mean, I see where they're coming from though, because like he kind of developed into a guy. You know what I mean? Like, was he a guy last year? Like he was cool last year, but now he's a guy. And I get if that's
he got to hide a little bit last year.
Like yeah, I mean if that's most improved, sure. Like fuck it.
I thought Kobe, excuse me. I thought he deserved it because I ain't see that coming.
I mean, I
ain't see that.
I didn't see a single Chicago Bulls highlight this whole year, so.
I didn't until the season ended. I don't know if that counts. Like, do I have to watch it during? Maybe not. I ain't watched a lick of it.
But so we got the first round. So the Celtics and the Heat, they're actually tied at 1. The Heat just stole a game today. As we're talking, I said it on the last pod. I don't really believe in the Celtics. I mean, they're a really good fucking team. I just don't. I can't see them getting to the end. I can't.
I said to myself, you cannot play with Miami, yo. Like we all watch horror movies, I say this amongst my boys, and I finally get to say this on a broadcast. We all watch horror movies. There's always that one person that hits the zombie over the head with a bat instead of setting the zombie on fire or cutting the whole head off or just throwing it through. You know what I mean? Like destroying the entire zombie. Like, what did you think? You throw the little bop on the head, and then you turn a corner, zombie get up, and then you get bit, and then it's a wrap. Like. And that's what the Celtics did. He thought he could bop it over the head with a wiffle ball bat, and that's it. Oh, they don't have Butler. Oh, no, not that team.
I don't know.
That is the night of the living dead.
I still got the Celtics, and I still got the Celtics in the series, but
not if Jimmy come back.
I don't know. It's.
Oh no, yeah. If he comes back, it's a. I was gonna say, what's the timetable on him right now?
And there's no proof. There's no real proof that I should go with this decision. The Celtics are by far the better team. But this, I'm telling you, they did the freaking Thriller, yo. Miami start doing that Thriller dance, and them zombies come out, yo. They don't die. I don't know what it is. They don't die, son. You have to kill them, yo.
No,
Yo,
it's funny too because if you actually look at their like even just today's stats from their game, it's very similar to last year, with just even when they played the teams like for example the
they
Knicks.
just make the game ugly, right?
But and it's all of them because I was gonna say if you actually look at even just like their top five, like pretty much their whole team compared to even what the Celtics did today with some of their best players, like dude, like almost like you had multiple guys with 20 points without Butler there. I don't know what the timetable was on him. I thought he might have been out the whole first series, but I don't know.
He's supposed to be out for a few weeks.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, so he's definitely out. But like, I don't know, man. Like I thought they were gonna get smacked without Butler.
And that's what I'm saying, man. The Celtics, they don't got that killer
Dude,
mentality,
Porzingis,
man. They just
like,
don't got. They don't
They
got it.
shoot too many jumpers, man. Too many threes. Too many
Dude.
middies.
Porzingis was
Who?
terrible today. I know he's not like their top guy when you have like Tatum there. Dude, you told me 30 minutes. You had 6 points. Like, bro, like his plus minuses are terrible today. And like I said, I know that's not his strong suit. Like, obviously, he still had 8 rebounds. You know, this, that, the other thing. But like, dude, like if you actually look at their team played pathetic today.
And that's what I said.
You're at home, and you're at home, and you're at home.
How many shot attempts did Porzingis
9.
get?
He was 1 for 9.
That's not good enough.
He was 1 for 9.
Yeah,
And
1 for 9.
Look, I like Drew Holiday, but he's more of a combo. I like Derek White. He's more of a combo. Tatum and Brown can handle, but they are scorers. This team still does not have a point guard in the sense of someone that can just get someone just an easy basket, make an entry pass.
Yeah.
Just an entry pass. Like
Now
Porzingis in the playoffs.
This is crazy.
Chris Paul to the Celtics in the offseason?
We saw what he did on the Wizards with Monty Morris. Like, yo, you should be able to get this guy, if not the shot attempts, at least the free throw attempts to, like, you got to get him rolling to the rim. And then if you want to shoot threes, you get him rolling to the rim. He's a capable passer. Y'all can spray out. They got to play an offense where everybody's touching it and moving around. It can't be stagnant. Oh, it's my turn.
Listen, man. Chris Paul is a free agent. He's going to be a free agent, man.
You saying that seriously,
bro?
Dead assery?
If you
dead assery, right
bro,
now?
you bring in Chris Paul's old ass to that team. Let him play like 20 minutes, just 20 minutes a game. Let Drew Holiday eat the rest of the minutes.
Yeah,
you get defense when you need it, and you get passing when you need it. Problem solved. I don't think the problem solved. I think Porzingis is a sham.
I don't know about that defense.
Tatum is a sham.
Tatum is such
Jaylen Brown trying to be the highest.
I was gonna say that too.
Chris Paul is a fire hydrant on defense now. I don't know if you want to do that.
By the way,
Drew Holiday's the one with the defense
of this game. Bro,
right.
They didn't
You can hide.
lead.
You can hide Chris Paul on a good defensive team. You can, and he's not terrible. Yeah. He's not. I mean, he's just so like young Chris Paul was a little more athletic enough to deal with some of his shortcomings, no pun intended. But now he's just old and short. The dudes just shoot over him now.
Well, what about the Knicks? So
I think they got a pathway.
The Knicks are up 2-0 on the Sixers. If they win, they'll either face the Bucks or the Pacers, which seems great because Doc Rivers still doesn't know what he's doing. And the Pacers they're okay, like they're all right. But the Knicks, nonetheless, they have to put the 76ers
they scare
away.
Me a little bit.
You said the Knicks too?
No, the Pacers actually scare me a little bit with that. Like I feel like they're a little underrated.
Oh, for sure. They're a good team, but like
I just feel like there could be scrappier than people think. But just with the Knicks, I am so high on the Knicks. Obviously, those games were crazy, dude. It does scare me, and I don't mean just the Knicks, dude. When you're on the road in basketball playoffs, that scares me, especially when you're like the crowd gets really into it. Now, from what I've heard, like ticket sales are dropping in Philly already because like a lot of their like fans haven't been buying like the tickets early after the 2-0 start for the Knicks. But they're just
Embiid got hurt.
There's about to be a lot of Knicks fans in Philly.
I know. So I was gonna say, so that's the thing that I think could help a lot because you're telling me if like Jalen Brunson has like a not so great game,
he's had a couple of not so great games to start this playoff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you take that going into the third game, I really think being on the road is going to affect some of the bench, not even just bench guys, just some of anybody from OG Brunson. I mean, OG hasn't been great either. But I'm saying if you take, I don't know if you're going to get a big game out of DiVincenzo on the road. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I think the Knicks should win this series, but it does scare me going on the road.
I think the most...
Isn't it a stat that OG has had a positive plus minus in every single Knicks game he's been in?
And that's the thing. So he hasn't been great on the offensive end at all. But the thing that Tibbs is doing is he's utilizing OG's defense and making him the workhorse for the defense. Honestly,
he's the new Luol Deng.
Yeah, so
I've been trying to tell you
what
guys.
OG,
and I can't complain because they're winning. Yeah, it's working.
And what OG was on the Raptors is he would give you some good defensive spurts that would show he's one of the better defensive players in the league, but he would also try hard on the offensive end. Thibs is looking at OG like, no, man, you're here to play defense. You're here to anchor our defense, and that's exactly what's happening.
Make corner three.
The reason why I'm very confident about the Knicks is because their defense has been consistent all year. We haven't really had a cold I mean, I think that
and
couple games where we were without literally everybody, it was a little bit of a cold stretch, but the defense has been on. The way they pass the ball around,
Robinson's back.
It's like old school basketball with a 3 attached to it. It's
you know what's crazy?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
I think the Bucks are done. I'm not even taking this Lillard performance serious. I think he'll burn out at some point, and then the Milwaukee.
They need Giannis.
So
they need Giannis
more than
bad.
Likely, from a calf, for a guy that has no jump shot and has to rely on every ounce of his physical ability, Milwaukee is garlic toast. I'm getting them out of there. So I believe it's going to be Pacers Knicks. Of course, Knicks got home court. I never would have thought 2 months ago that the Knicks would have more shooting than Indiana. At one point, I thought Indiana was going to set the record for most threes at one point this year. They were bombing away. And then, lo and behold, they trade Buddy Hield. And then the team spacing kind of gets a little funky with Siakam, even though he hasn't been terrible. But he's just not a sniper like that. And now they're a team that kind of mixes it up a little more. And then you got the Knicks on the other side. And, there's about 4 or 5 guys that could just go off from deep at any point in time. And I feel like I may be leaving another guy out. And with the way Brunson plays, that's another thing. It'd be one thing if you're looking at a guy that you game plan for, and it's we got to take away this from him. We know that he likes to do this. All right, we got to have someone meet him in. He gets his points in the most YMCA-ish street ball, just veteran. You just look up and it's he got 28. How? 20. He got 25 tonight. How? It just accumulates. Little runner here, he is so cerebral. And I don't want to, and it's messed up because people are going to look at his scoring averages and say he's a scoring point guard. But the way he goes about, he takes the shots. He doesn't force anything. And this is just the results you get from his play. I'm not a Knicks fan.
You're not.
I mentioned Mikal Bridges. I would love to see that for them in the off season. I'm getting a little ahead, but as far as this postseason, man, if the Celtics don't take care of this Miami business, we may very well get that throwback of first Pacers Knicks and then Heat Knicks, because I feel like if the Heat get past the first round, then all bets are off. They're gonna get Butler back healthy, and then they're gonna do that shit that Miami does.
Yeah,
not this year, man. I'm telling you guys, not this year.
The pathway is a lot easier, but if that happens,
Now, I said coming into this that the 76ers absolutely need to win these playoffs. I don't think that's necessarily the case, because I think they have a team that is going to come back and be really good next year, and they got Nick Nurse, and I think things are going to be okay moving forward.
They got a ton of cap space too.
But
about 50 million or something like that.
I don't know what Giannis
I
is
think
going to
this
do if
takes
he
Embiid
loses, but yeah, I mean, so the Bucks and the Pacers we already talked a little bit about. Don't want to talk too much about that. That's kind of we got to see what
He
happens.
need to
kind
tell
of
his
thing.
brother go somewhere instead of wasting a roster spot. Like that'll help.
No, that whole
Like
that whole
that'll help.
Milwaukee shit is upside down, man. I don't.
Yo, yeah.
Cleveland,
We're gonna
Orlando.
get a documentary about the brothers dynamic. Like this, I don't know what's up with that.
Cleveland, Orlando. I think
Like
it's pretty obvious
the
that
Nasus,
Cleveland's
the
going to run
Nasus
through
is fucking
Orlando.
somebody's wife.
Huh?
Hmm? I said the Nasus is fucking somebody's wife.
Cleveland's going to run through Orlando. The Thunder, I think they're going to run through the Pelicans. I think it's sad because Zion. Yeah.
I must go 6 or 5 or one
I
of
don't
that.
know, man.
I
Like
got too much
Zion being
respect for
out,
the
like
Pelicans.
people got to understand that Zion
The whole
was
series.
that motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
He's out.
Yeah,
he's probably
he's
out.
done. Like,
I mean, when I hear hamstring, I hear you're done. Especially
When I
someone
hear
that big.
Zion injury, I hear you're done.
yeah, I just see Zion be like, yo, I'll catch y'all next year. Like,
I know.
but I mean, I think it's
Hey,
sad.
if OKC takes a 2-0 lead, I think that series is 100% over.
My boy Chet going crazy right now to start off.
I mean, Zion, he literally played the most games he's ever played. I thought he looked like a great team player this year. Like, he really dissolved into that Pelican system, so it sucks to see that. We're going to talk more about the Thunder as the playoffs go along.
I do wish he rebound more, though.
Yeah.
He's too physically gifted to have
Steph
Curry almost rebounding as much as you. Like, that shit is nuts to me.
I'll give you a reason why I'm a little worried about Zion, too, and I'll ask both of you guys. And, Ricky, I'll just say like this for, like let's just do a comparison to Judge, or even Cole, right? Because Zion literally missed 45 games from a hamstring injury already. Literally not even 2 full years ago. So imagine if, like, all right, like, Cole has Tommy John, right? And then, like, he, like, doesn't start a game because he goes, oh, I have, my shoulder's really sore. But it's not as sore as the last time I got surgery. Like, aren't you still going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I don't care if it's as sore as it was. Like, clearly it's sore in the same injury you just had. That's a problem. So when Zion goes, well, it wasn't as sharp as the pain as last time. It's like, yeah, but you just missed a half a season from it. So clearly there's a lingering injury. So the hope of you coming back in a week or two, or really a week, I don't think that's happening at all. I think there's
hell no. It's a hamstring, and that's a big ass attached to that hamstring. He's not coming back.
What?
I mean,
Yo, Saxon is not prepared for that.
Not in the slightest.
No, dude. I'll be honest too. The play didn't even look that brutal.
It didn't look like nothing happened.
Yeah,
I
really
didn't
didn't.
know how
I
he
actually
was
had to
working
replay it. Yeah, but
yeah, I was like, he just kind of walked away. I was like, what the hell?
He just decided, like, I'm done. That's it.
Like Kawhi last year, he just walked off.
Clippers and Mavericks, I don't want to talk too much yet about because it's a very even series. Anything could happen there. Kawhi came back. Luka's doing his thing.
That's going to 7.
Yeah, it's going to. We're gonna have 2 more podcast episodes for that. Before that's concluded.
And I think Luka is going to do something historic in one of these games.
I think
like some 45.
Listen,
15,
as much as I like the Clippers team, I still wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs win the next fucking 3 games, bro. I really wouldn't.
Luka, they got the best player in the series.
Like Luka is,
I don't put nothing.
He's a demon, man. He's a demon, and I know Bill wanted to say in our little group chat that Luka is like terrible in the playoffs. It's just not true. Go back and watch some highlights. He's had some of these teams. Spencer Dinwiddie is his second best player. I really don't want to hear it, man. Like he finally got Kyrie, and they're gonna do something. But
I know it's fun for people to shit on LeBron for what he did in the bubble, but we forget about a lot of other performances that was in the bubble, like the AD game winner. And then what Luka was going.
AD was
Luka was
like
go ahead.
They were considering Anthony Davis one of the best players in the whole league after the fucking bubble.
I thought he was the MVP of that series.
I agree.
I thought he was gonna
Bro,
go
LeBron could
self-fulfilled. And
average
even my mom, she
LeBron
thought
could
he was gonna win
average 2 points a
MVP.
game in these playoffs, and they'll give him the Finals MVP if they.
Yeah, that would be pretty whack. But yo, AD was doing everything. I'm like the three ball was falling and all that. But I say that to say like it wasn't. People get caught up in just the Lakers' performance because they won. Luca was outstanding in the bubble. I don't care if it was only some cameramen in the audience. That was yo. He was going insane.
There's
And
literally nothing but
I don't know
cameramen, and
that left a lasting
yeah,
impression
that was
on me.
actually it. It was just cameramen.
And and people act like he wasn't like Luka's been on the big stage since like 13, 14, 15. This is like Michael Jackson performing. To me, if he has a bad game, all right. That's pretty much like Mike hitting the moonwalk and maybe a little stumble or whatever. Like, yo, nah. Offensively, you can't tell me nothing about Luka. No more. No more. No more. No more.
I agree.
No more. He is
even his defensive rebounds.
probably the most
too.
complete offensive player I've ever seen now.
Now,
Ever.
and I
By the way,
I agree.
just quick comment
Go ahead.
too. I gotta say one thing with the Mavs. I actually give a lot of credit to Kyrie Irving because a little bit with James Harden too this year, but more so Kyrie, dude. He really has taken a liking to that team, and he's been really like quiet. Like, I'm not saying he had to be quiet. I'm just saying like. With
No.
Like he really shit himself.
And you know what? You know what that goes
Yeah.
back to? That literally goes back to Dallas. Is
He needed
just
that.
like the Mavericks. That franchise is just great. They really take care of their people. Like, I mean, the one example being is that
First
like the
class.
Nets gave him like a fucking banana during Ramadan to eat, and like the Mavericks are preparing whole meals and shit for this dude. I mean, like
Yo.
I think like if the Mavericks are to go to the finals and win one, and while Kyrie is there, Mark Cuban and whoever else made these moves are gonna look like total fucking geniuses because no one was giving Kyrie a max contract. I mean, maybe the Lakers, maybe they were gonna give Kyrie the max, but it was Dallas all the way. Like, here's your money. We're gonna take care of you during Ramadan. You know, we're gonna make sure you're happy. You're gonna be next to Luka, and for Kyrie to sit here and let Luka be the best player on the court is just another. Just you proved me wrong, Kyrie. You definitely proved me wrong. I was definitely one of his biggest haters, just because I thought it sucked seeing Kyrie come along as he has, missing out on seeing this guy play has sucked because he's so good at the game of basketball. I just want to see him play the fucking game. If he can win a chip in Dallas, his stock goes all the way the hell up. I'll say that too.
I do like what Dallas has done in the parameters of the team too by identifying like, yo, we got Luka, we got Kyrie. Let's get some rim runners.
Bro, Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington are some crazy acquisitions.
Let's go get Daniel. It don't got to be a star, but they knew, like, yo, with our personnel, these guys can be unlocked. And even drafting Derek Lively, like, just to have the foresight to say, yo, let's get some athletes in our front court. PJ can shoot the three ball as well as get to the rim. Yo, that series is going to 7, man. Like, the Clippers got a dogfight on them, man. I really like this Mavs team.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Especially
These
this
two,
time.
any one of these two teams I could see in the fucking finals, which is crazy. But real quick, the Timberwolves and the Suns, it looks like the Timberwolves completely outmatched the Suns, which honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why anyone's surprised, realistically. And the reason why I say that is just because, like, you have to think about how the team is put together. You know, Kevin Durant, needless to say, his legacy is turning into baked beans, especially if he loses this one. I mean, I think Wemby is going to come and win like 7 in a row here soon. But, like, Kevin Durant, he's baked beans, man. You know, Devin Booker is like one game he'll look like the best player on earth. The next he'll look like he doesn't even want to be there. And Bradley Beal,
he's a little fraudulent.
And Bradley Beal's the biggest fraud of all time. So, and then you're just putting random depth pieces around those guys. I really didn't. You know, I wanted it to work so bad for Kevin Durant.
I do like Grayson Allen this year.
Yeah,
He's been a pleasant surprise.
yeah,
That's about all I got.
and they don't have money
I
for
have
anybody else.
nothing
So
good to say about
this is the
Pete.
team they're gonna have next year too. So
Yeah, they're stuck.
I don't really know.
They're stuck.
But the Timberwolves, man, Anthony Edwards he's that guy.
Yeah, man. Um, there's a lot in play. Uh, because while all right, the Timberwolves are probably either sweeping or gentlemen sweeping this series, but I can't help but look ahead with the Timberwolves because I think of all the teams that's in the playoffs, them they could have the biggest change in the offseason. Why I say that? Because they are a small market team or mid market team. I'll say mid market team that is on pace to pay the second apron. I don't know people too well versed with the salary cap. So it's kind of like, all right, I can see ownership saying we gave it a go, but we ain't genie busting them. Like I'm not. I don't want to continue paying these taxes for a team that may or may not get outs. I don't think they're getting past the Nuggets. I can't say they that I can't say for a fact that the Thunder, my squad, could beat them. I we've had success here and there, but they're very tough considering that the two bigs and Chet is
Yeah.
still, thin in the ass. But I think, yeah, when it comes down to a few of those teams out west, I don't think it's any guarantee that this team wins the chip. And even if they do win the chip, there's still that mid-market team. I don't know if I trust ownership to
Alex Rodriguez?
continue this. But the thing is, the story came out. If they had sold to Alex Rodriguez, win or lose, Alex was tearing that team up. Carl Anthony would have been gone. Rudy would have been gone. They would have just shed salary, win or lose. So it's best for fans to not hear that would have happened. There's still a shot they keep this team around, but I think ultimately, win or lose, it's gonna come down to Gobert or Carl Anthony.
That's fair.
Well, you know
And
what it
there's
is,
a
too.
lot of rumors going around about Carl Anthony because more teams can use him more than they
Carl
can
Anthony
use a
is
Rudy
soft,
Gobert.
but
So,
go ahead, Wolf.
I was
yeah,
gonna say just not only just with Carl Anthony, but Gobert. Let's just take those three names you took before from the Suns, and let's just say Anthony. Actually Anthony Edwards, I guess too. Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, and Carl Anthony Towns. If you take them compared to just the other three on the Suns, the age difference is like old senior citizens to like teenagers. Bro, we're talking like 22, 25, 28 years old. Then we're talking 30, 31, 35. I mean, you're talking a 10 to 15 year difference. That one, like you said, it shouldn't be a surprise. Like, you're playing against old men. I'm not saying Kevin Durant doesn't have game left. But, like, dude, a young athletic team like that can be really dangerous when, in a playoff spot.
That's fair.
To be honest.
and what's crazy to add to that, just like I was making a point about the Celtics needing a true set up point guard. I love Drew Holiday, but that's just not really his thing. He's a little more of a combo. The Suns are in an even worse situation. Who is really coming down the court getting people into their sets? Like, everyone is a gunner.
That's Frank.
For the most
That's Frank
part.
Vogel for you.
I mean, at some point they're gonna have to. Man, I don't even know. I don't know where it's gonna come from because they are stuck.
Well, I'll
They are stuck.
I'll say this.
They don't have picks. They don't have money.
We'll just find out. I think it all depends on how bad Kevin Durant wants it, and I don't know how bad he wants it at the age of 35. But moving to the Nuggets and the Lakers, Nuggets obviously up 2-0 as we record this. I got two takes, and then I'll let you guys take the floor, and then we'll wrap up the NBA part. One, I think the Nuggets are putting on a masterclass of patience. When you talk about how the league has been since LeBron formed the Big Three in Miami and how much players were moving teams, and then Kevin Durant going to the Warriors absolutely broke the NBA. You had a whole bunch of people freely like, oh, I'm going here. I don't care. I'm going here. I don't care about the criticism. the Nuggets have had this team, at least the core three of Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray together for a while now. And they've had their wars in the playoffs before they won last year. And before, I mean, this year, the way they play is they make you beat yourself. Even if they don't show up, they make you beat yourself. And that's kind of the thing with them. And that's what, honestly, the reason why I don't give the Thunder or the Timberwolves a chance in this postseason is because if they do run into the Nuggets are going to make the Thunder and the Timberwolves just corrupt on their inexperience. And I think that's what it's going to come down to in that series. But the second thing that I got, and listen, any Lakers fans, I know Matt, I share this podcast with Matt. Anthony Davis might be, a really good defensive player, but is he hands down defensive player of the year? Should he have one already? I'm going to go with no. And the reason why I'm going to go with no is a simple fact is that Lakers fans and other fans are asking one question that kind of just shits on Anthony Davis. They're saying, why haven't the Lakers re-signed Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee? They did so good against the Nuggets. As Anthony Davis, if you are one of the best defensive players in the league, fans should not be having to ask that because that is your fucking position. That is your position.
That is true.
If you can guard 1 through 5, I don't really care. But if the fans are asking for fucking the 6'10" bottom Dwight Howard, excuse my language, or or JaVale fucking McGee to come back to the team, bro, I'm sorry, you're not the defensive player. You're not. You are great at defense. Anthony Davis is a top 10, maybe top 5 player, a defensive player in the league. But to say hands down best defender on the planet, I would say you're wrong every time, and that is the one biggest thing that I have.
Well, I do think he should have won, and that's from his last year in New Orleans.
Okay,
but yeah, this series, man,
like a fork in it, man. LeBron's dead.
That point you made, and I'm gonna try to keep this brief because I've been a little long-winded. You nailed it, yo. They make you beat yourselves, yo. As I've been watching the Nuggets a little more attentively, like the past 2 or 3 years. Tell me this ain't the truth. They lead the league in opponents' teammates arguing with each other at a play that they did. Like, yo, they go on break, they go on timeout, and I've noticed this so many times in Nuggets games. Dudes on the other, they're like, yo, I thought you was gonna I thought you had the back door, and you are. Yo, there's so much confusion playing that team, and yo, man, I have to say it. Joker, however you feel about him defensively, however
He
you feel
improved a
about
lot
him
this
as
year.
far as just maybe even his not you, but just people who think like this, maybe they feel a way about his conditioning. He don't look the part. Man, he's gonna hang it up, and he's can't believe I'm saying this. He might finish top 5 ever.
It's a big.
And I'll leave it at that.
I mean, he keeps this up.
I'll drop it like that. Not even 10. I'm not even saying top 10. Top 5. Like, I'll worry about who's the other 4 later. That's how serious I am.
Wow, that's deep.
He got to give me one more ring, though.
I think he got it.
One ring.
He got to give you
Joker.
I can't say one more. I got to say 2 or 3 more at least because you're talking about the top 5, which has LeBron, who has 4 rings, Jordan, who has 6, Kobe, who has 5, Magic.
I'm not talking Kobe. Kobe was never in my top 5.
That's crazy.
That's now we got a comment section.
Yes.
Now we got a comment section. Fry me up. It's right there for you. It's right down there. Yep.
All right, but before we move on from basketball,
top 6.
Before we move on from basketball, one quick question. Answer it quickly. Who is the one player that you think needs to win in these playoffs the most? Who is the one player that needs the championship the most?
Wolf, go.
I
I'm
don't
just
even know
trying
if
to
it's
think.
full championship, but I'll say this: he needs to get there because I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of hearing about Embiid. If Embiid can't get past the Knicks without Randall and with Jalen Brunson playing poorly, like I'm so tired of hearing about him. He's always nursing some crappy injury. Oh, this like I don't want to hear like, oh, he's injured. Like, dude, you need to
He's
prepare
injured.
yourself every single year. There's always some. There was
He's
even
injured.
talk if he was even going to play the first game. It's like I think like, and you said it too. Like you said before, that this isn't a must-win. I don't necessarily think for the team it is. I think it's more for him.
Yeah.
It is because it's just like it's if you get knocked from the first
No
round,
one's taking him
let's not even
seriously
talk
anymore. That's a good
swept.
point.
No. So to me, there's a lot of other guys too in the playoffs that I definitely think needed to, but just from personal bias, I think he's one of the top.
The moment Scotty Barnes' big mouth breathing ass fell on
Yeah.
Joel Embiid's knee, I gave him a pass. And I hated to do it, but I'm like, yo, he's that big coming off meniscus surgery. It'd be one Zion. We talking about Zion and his hamstring. We talking about Giannis and his calf injuries that they're coming back from. This guy had a procedure.
Yeah.
When Scotty Barnes' big teeth ass did that shit, I pretty much said it's over. I didn't care about a Buddy Hield trade. I didn't care about nothing after that. I said it's over. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be a little out of shape. He's gonna be a little out of sorts. It takes a while for that man to get going after an injury. I'm like,
I mean,
done.
it's hats off to him though.
Right.
Like he's playing, and you see his knees all crooked and bandaged up and bleeding. But like I agree. I agree with
why
you.
Are they always favored then to
and
the
then
Knicks?
You seeing him at the end of the press conferences, like he wants this too. Like that man is a competitor, yo. Like
and I'll say this:
Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and I don't want people to. I think that because they're on the same team, is just old, and he started off his career 2 years sitting. He's not that though. He's not Kawhi. Or I'm just taking the night off because I'm a little. Dude want to play, man. He wants to play. He's been robbed a lot. He's been robbed by injury more than
fair.
He's at.
I'll agree with that though, but then I guess my only other argument, and this isn't even for you, it's just more for like the public appearance. Then why the hell is the 76ers? Why are the Knicks underdogs in the series then? If it's like if he's so good,
another good point.
But we're giving him a pass for being injured, then I don't want to hear how like they should have swept the Knicks, like the floor with the Knicks, because that's not the case then.
Well, if we turn on our TVs and keep hearing these people in suits and ties tell us that the Knicks are underdog, and you may believe it after a while, but my brain, if I had a computer and a printer that can and spit out a winner of this series, it is sure not the Sixers.
That's fair.
They're not efficient. They're not efficient. They don't offensive rebound against the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA by like a super margin. Like they're Josh Hart. If Josh
and Joel Embiid ain't gonna be able to. He's not up there getting the rebounds either. So.
He might be their best rebounder if you put him on the
But I mean, but Wolfie has a great point though. I mean, it's just like no one's taking Embiid seriously in the playoffs after this. I mean, like listen, you lost to the Hawks. I mean,
that was
the Raptors series was tough, but last year you were up 3-2 on the Celtics. Like there's all of these are adding up. Like you got the Knicks, like it's like Wolfie said, without Randall, you were able to sneak into the 7th seed. You did what you had to do to get that, and you got the Knicks first round, a battered, injured Knicks team. And I'm not trying to take away from the Knicks, but like at Joel Embiid as a superstar in the league, like this is a winnable series, definitely a winnable series. But my pick, I'm going with Jason Tatum. Now I did say it.
He was actually my other one too.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why, that I say that is because they're becoming the fucking Dallas Cowboys here. Like, let's be real. How many years has it been since Kyrie has been on the Celtics, right? When Tatum was young? That was how long ago? 5-6 years now?
I was gonna say,
and they've been consistently a top team in the East every year since. And we've been talking.
They've been to the conference finals, 5 years straight?
I don't know if it's 5 years straight, but they've at least the East has had to
5 out
go
of
through the
6.
Celtics. Like it's been a long time, and Jason Tatum, you sent a message like you really disgraced Kobe with all that shit. Like I
Oh my god.
I don't know. I
Wow.
think if Tatum and the Celtics don't win, and I'm not expecting them to either, but when they don't win, a lot of eyes are going to be on Tatum, and he's going to look super, super fraudulent, and it's going to be a lot of pressure because that
Nah.
contract's coming up.
If
He's
they lose
still
to the Heat,
young and
especially.
he's still the golden child, and they're gonna find a different scapegoat, and that's gonna be either two people, and we all know that's either Jaylen Brown or Porzingis. They are not. It will not be Tatum.
Yeah, but how
I
many
promise you, they're
mid
not gonna be
playoff
playing.
performances do you have to
That's a good
have
point.
though? Like he's been mid almost every single playoff appearance. He has not been either great and he has
Yeah,
not been
and
bad.
and he got the Robert Kardashian, O.J. Simpson defense team whenever he has these mid games because he just gets off. Yo, I don't know what it is.
Dude,
Like
there's no way they can lose to the Heat without Butler.
Oh yeah,
They
no, no,
lose
no. If they
Coxey,
lose to
yo.
the Heat without Butler, Tatum's walking out the door.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't even, and you know what's crazy is this thought wasn't even in my head like a week or two ago. But after seeing the series now, if that happens, we're talking a major failure.
The Heat are zombies, though. I keep saying, like,
You're right,
yo,
man.
it don't like I don't know what it is. It just don't matter with them. I don't know what it is. They're like the Baltimore Ravens in the early 2000s or something. Like they're just ugly.
So Ricky,
It's just ugly.
Ricky, give your
And
give your guy quick.
oh, real quick, Jimmy Butler. While we're here, there's been a lot of this playoff Jimmy, this mystique, this aura of Jimmy
This is
Butler.
a
This, that,
turn.
and the third. That man ain't win shit.
I didn't see that
Let's
coming.
get right to it. Like at least Kawhi, even though he's trying to drag the Clippers to places where they've never been. Well, you could maybe argue Paul George, but he's not the man over there. Jimmy, all right. There's been a lot of people like, oh, you might be Michael Jordan's son. It's like they're not even talking about you like that. Now Jordan's real son is Anthony Edwards. Like you're not they done pass the DNA on to another NBA player. You need to remind these folks. You got all these Michelob
I don't know if he's
commercials,
coming back
all these
though.
cowboy hats and boots. I'm like, all right, enough, man. Like, you got one final appearance, and like Steph Curry got you right out of here. Like, come on now, come on, let's get it going. Oh, not him. Oh, sorry, the Nuggets. Joke and them got you right out of here. Right out.
Yeah, he's not playing in this series, man. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, I know. I have belief that he'll come back. I don't know what it is. I feel like the Celtics are going to blow this series. I just do. I feel like they should have went up 2-0 with Butler out. That's how you get out of Miami. For y'all to give them a game and another couple of days for Jimmy Butler to be like, you know what? I'm feeling a little all right. I might, all we got to do is see game 3 questionable and it's over.
That's fair. So Paul Skenes,
Yeah.
I want to start off with that guy, right? Just real quick, I want to like list his repertoire. Like he has 5 pitches, right?
Go ahead.
This dude has a 100 plus mile per hour fastball that is absolutely destroying dudes in the minor leagues. He has
and it looks more like 105.
He has a very, very unhittable slider. More than half of his strikeouts come from that slider pitch. He has a 95 mile per hour splitter that dances like a sinker that they're calling a splinker. Like it's a new pitch alert.
Yo,
a splinker.
They gotta chill with these pitches.
Now, when I saw
like
this dude's changeup, one of the most smoothest changeups you'll ever fucking see. And to top it all off, he has a curveball that drops 42 inches.
That's a small child, y'all. That's about a small child. Actually, that's a tall, small child, if that makes any sense.
Yo, Pittsburgh got a gem,
God.
man. And to think
they do, but they're starting to scare me though with how they're handling some of these guys.
A splinker.
A splinker.
I need to see the grip on that. Pause.
Go ahead, Wolf.
I gotta see
The problem I'm having with this though is that, dude, the way the Pirates have been handling a lot of their players and roster this year is just stupid. Like, I'll be honest, it's just been straight up stupid. First off, he should have made the roster to begin with.
Yeah.
The only reason he didn't is because of manipulation, which I'm not a fan of, and I don't even want to hear that because there's a lot of other teams that don't do that anymore.
Service time.
Yeah, and there are a lot of teams have been going around that, and plus you've seen guys like Jackson Holiday get called up already. You know, Orioles just did it the other day with Kerstad. Like, there's guys being called up already. Plus, the Pirates have had multiple injuries.
Then you get a Chris Bryant situation with another club, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And then they just had a spot open in their rotation, didn't bring him up. Then they had Jones up, and I understand he's a rookie, hasn't pitched much. Bro, when he was playing against the Mets the other day, he made them look like it was like vintage Jake DeGrom. What did he have, like 50 or 60 pitches or something going into the sixth, and they pulled him? And it was like 9 strikeouts, no runs. And my point that I bring that up with Paul Skenes is like, I'm getting very worried that this Pirates organization is going to screw something up. Because I've seen it with Brian Reynolds is not having a great year either. The back end of their bullpen's bad. Bednar's starting to fall off this year. Me too, dude. And I'm just like, there's just something about this Pirates organization that is just worrying me about this. I know it's not the player.
Brian Reynolds should have got traded like 1-2 summers ago. Like, I love that dude. I want to see him playing in October. He's just so great.
Well, that's why
he's
I'm
like
worried.
a switch hitting Michael.
Bro, he's hitting 261. He hit a bomb today. He has 13 RBIs. He's not having that bad of a year. Like,
no, yeah, but even after he got his contract, like, he's just like, he's not been what he was. And I'm saying, like, the way the Pirates have operated over the last few years, especially with being cheap too, there's just something about this project that is starting to scare me. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like the Orioles are a good example of doing it right.
I absolutely disagree with you, Wolf.
How many years have they had Cruz for? This is his 3rd, 4th year now?
O'Neal Cruz is his 3rd year. He was hurt last year.
Well, they didn't really what I'm saying.
Like, my point being, though, we've heard a lot about the Pirates guys and them rebuilding over the last, like, half a decade, even full decade, and I'm just, like I said, I don't trust them to do it right, especially with their manager, especially with their organization in general, like whoever's running.
Yeah, but you're talking about you're gonna have Mitch Keller, you're gonna have fucking Mitch Keller, Jared Jones. Jared Jones looks like the truth as well. Martin Perez has been giving them very good veteran fucking innings, rough. And then you're gonna throw Paul Skenes in that.
Well, that's what I said, is that even with Mitch Keller, though, like, once he got paid, bro, he had, like, a 5.4 ERA to finish the season last year, the second half. Like, I don't think they're spending money right. Like, I really don't. I think Brian Reynolds was a good move, but just like,
Brian Hayes.
But
Brian Hayes is a good hitter. I mean, Cruz is struggling. O'Neal Cruz is struggling, but I don't expect that to last too long. And like I said,
what's happening with Henry Davis, y'all? Any word on that kid?
He's struggling. But like they got Triolo, Sawinski, Connor, Joe. They're all having decent years. Like they got Olivares who come. Like they have a bunch of decent role players around these guys. And I'll say this: I like what they're doing with Skenes, though. This dude is a magical pitcher, and we're seeing all of these magical pitchers go down with injury. Whereas, like, last year, he only pitched 6 innings altogether last year after being drafted. So he was drafted, took a break, came back, only pitched 6 innings, did whatever in the offseason. Like, they're working him up to be a star, and I appreciate that. Like, instead of having these guys throw out their arms, like for example, the Nationals. I mean, I kind of wish that they brought up Steven Strasburg a little bit slower because they just threw him right into the limelight and he fucking destroyed his whole arm. Like month 1, it was like we only got to see him a few times before he got hurt. So
if I'm not mistaken, Steven Strasburg had like only 60 innings in the minors before they put him up.
Yeah,
he barely had any time to. And he was a reliever in San Diego State.
Right.
So he had to get – they threw him right in there. But I was there for it. I ran to the house for that.
So I think, like, with Skenes, it's like what Pittsburgh is doing. It's like it's like a little baby, like it's their little baby that they're just taking care of right now. Like they finally got
It's in the
something
incubator.
special, and they just don't want to lose it right now, Wolf.
You know
Yeah.
what doesn't make any sense though, which is the
They need more
timeline.
hitters though.
I must have
Definitely.
took a look at his college stats more so than his minor league stats because I thought he had a way more innings last year, but it must have been from 2022. That being said, though, the way his promotion worked was very surprising. I mean, 3 innings to 2 innings to 1 inning, and you got promoted 3 times in 6 innings.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, I mean, because that's the thing is like he was MLB ready right out of being drafted. Like that's what all the scouts said. That's why he went. He was 1 pick away from being a national. Can you fucking imagine? But
Ricky, he literally
You got
pitched
Dylan
1
Cruz,
inning.
okay?
He pitched 1 inning in rookie ball, got a strikeout, and instantly.
and they were like, "Oh,
That's enough. We've seen enough.
One
We've seen enough.
inning.
We've seen enough.
bro." He shows up to Single A. He plays 2 games, 3 innings pitched, and they're like, "Oh."
4 strikeouts, no
We've seen enough.
runs, 1 hit, and they're like, "All right, you're up."
Yo, it's
And
like
then he got shelled in
the-
Double A, and they were like, "All right."
It's like
And then
the
they bring him up
director.
again, though.
It's like the minor league director is like a 5-year-old like high off candy and just saw 1 inning. Oh, move him up. And
Bro,
then-
they saw that
move him up.
102 mile per hour fastball come out of his hand, and they were like, "Yep, send him up." Send him up.
And what's
Well,
funny too is
big-
all those
big old cotton
games he
candy,
started too. So it's just like literally started, came in for 1 inning, and they're like, "All right, done." Like,
Bro, I bet you
Word.
like the opposing team was like, "Oh fuck, we have to deal with this all game. What the hell?"
Bro, Henry Rosengarten wasn't even called up as fast as Paul Skenes in some of these promotions. Like Rookie of the Year movie. Like
Crazy.
You know, come on now.
But
They even had that kid throw a few innings before
I'll say
they
one
brought
thing actually. Now that I'm looking at it, there is a theory I do have. I did bring up the market, the manipulation of service time. I'll tell you one thing though. If he doesn't get called up soon, I think they won't call him up as early as we think because.
nah, he's coming up soon.
All right, let's just say they don't call him up.
There's
Let's just say they
pressure.
don't call him
The
up for another
pressure's there.
month.
He
Dude,
has
you're
to be up.
having,
Who, Skenes?
yeah, like
I
let's just say
think-
that
I don't
most of
think
these guys
Skenes-
look. I was gonna
I
say
think
most of these
Skenes
guys they
was
cap
called
around
up in like
100.
June, July.
Well, that's my point though. Is why I don't know that because he's at 17 innings pitched already, and it's not even in the end of April. If he doesn't get called up before like June, by June, July, he's gotta have like what 70.
Yeah,
80?
it's not enough.
No, he's getting no.
Like my point being is, I don't think they'll use
No,
him.
you
if he has
you
too
got to
much
think of
innings
it like a
on him.
rehab.
So you either got to use him too early or not at all.
So I've been following this really closely. They're building him up as if they're rehabbing someone coming off of Tommy John, kind of like his first game was like 2 innings, second game was 3. Like they're slowly like you said, like his last start was like 4 or 5 innings. I think the plan is that once they see him get stretched out over 6-7 like effectively, they're gonna call him right up because I mean they've had the spot waiting for him for like weeks now. But
which you can kind of
And-
almost
and
pinpoint
it makes-
what the timeline would be for
Yeah.
them. If you keep adding like 6 innings to his IP, it'd be like, all right, maybe June.
no, I think
I mean,
it's
we
I think
gotta-
it's
we
May.
gotta
I think it's May.
Start to see more starts where he finishes, 3 and 4. We, to be able to put together a 5-inning, are you capable of qualifying for a win? Like that's all we're really asking. Not even asking for 6-7 yet.
Yeah, like today
Like, can you
for
give
example, he
5 innings.
pitched 4 1/3, allowed his first run.
Okay.
How
Okay.
many pitches?
Ricky's actually probably right. It has to be May because if you think about it like this, all right, there's no way in any league he's thrown more than
71 pitches today.
right?
71 pitches today.
Yeah. Wolf.
Yeah,
What,
so
you
let's just say this: no way he's thrown more than 150 this year.
He threw
let's
70
just-
pitches today. You said
71.
and 4. Not bad.
So, if you take 17 of his innings pitched already off of the 150, that means he's got 133 left, right? Out of that 133, if he gets called up, 90 of that easily is going to be in the majors. So that means you're working with minimum about 40 innings more in the minors if he stays all for those 40. But if he does, you're looking at 57 innings pitched already in the minors. Like, I think Ricky's right. I think if once he hits that, like, 30, 35 mark, so maybe 2-3 more games, good games, I think then you'll see him.
Dude, Alex.
But then again, I don't know. How long was Strasburg? Now I don't know. But
I don't even know if they're bringing him up at all now.
Sachs made that a concern to me now because I'm like, how many? I feel like I may have highballed that number. Like, did Strasburg throw 30 innings in the minors?
He threw 55
now
innings over 11 games, so about like 5 innings pitched per game. But he dominated the minors. I mean, 65 strikeouts in 50 innings, a 1.30 ERA. But that was his first year playing pro ball too. Like he didn't play after he was drafted.
Yeah, man. I think Skenes realistically will be like, if they want him to, if they plan to call him up and he starts, not call him up and he get some bullpen. Like, call him up and here's the ball. He'll probably be up in August.
No.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's next month, bro.
Ricky, I'm thinking that too, man. I'm getting scared.
If the Pirates are winning, I'll give you that. They'll call him up earlier. If they nosedive, it makes no sense to
bro, he could get called up for the next start, bro. If we're at the point where if one of their starters right now goes down, or if he gets through one more start, he's gonna be up. He's gonna be, bro. You don't understand the pressure that they're getting. Bro, he's on every talk show now. What prospect has been on every fucking talk show? Like,
I'm not worried about him performing.
I actually think Ricky might be right.
You're the one who. You're the one who just gave the baby analogy. Now you want to see section.
Like I said, it's either the extremes. He's either going to pitch right now or later. They're not going to be like end of June when he's got 70 or 100 innings already in the minors. Oh yeah, let's call him up and blow his arm out. And especially if they're not in it. And like you said, Ricky, the big thing is if they're in it.
It wouldn't be smart to waste his arm in the minors. I have to.
Bro,
they have to find a balance.
If they get an injury at the end of June and they're 10 games below 500, he's not.
We're talking about a pitcher that has 5 pitches. None of them are weak. He's striking out guys. He was doing it in spring training. 102 miles per hour. He's MLB ready. There's no other way to it. If the Pirates, for whatever reason, hold on to him, even June is too long. If they hold on to him in the minors till June, the Pittsburgh Pirates fans are going to stop showing up. They're going to start rioting. It's going to get ugly. He will be up within the next couple weeks. If not,
they'll just start going to his games. It'll be crazy. There'll be more fans at the Skenes games than the Pirates.
Bro, he's showing up on the Pat McAfee show. Like, he has all these headlines. You go on MLB.com. He's always in the fucking headlines. Like,
he's great, man. Like, personality-wise, he already got it. Like, already.
I do think, though, if
he's
they're
a
like
badass.
Around
I want
the
my
wild
pitches
card
to be bad. I want my pitches to be like WWE heels, and he's freaking perfect, yo. Like, he's a freaking asshole on the mound.
And his girl.
What they say? He's the angriest cock in the barn. That ain't my words.
What were you gonna say, Wolfie? So we can move on from skiing.
I kind of forgot now. We're good all along.
All right.
No. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, even if they're in the wild card, like I don't think it would be smart to bring him up around that July area if he's already got like 90 to 100 innings in the minors. I think it's better to do it either it's one of the extremes. Do it right now, or you're not gonna see it till August. That's my idea.
But I don't know. Y'all kind of got August now. I don't know. I feel crazy because it's like, do you really want to just see him throw from now to then in the minors? Like now I'm caught in limbo.
No, because like you're now. Like, listen,
it gotta be
the Pittsburgh Pirates are 13-12. They are 3 games out of the fucking Central. They're not even struggling. I mean, yeah, 3-7 in their last 10.
The Central's not even scary.
Like, the Central's not scary. You bring up Skenes now, and you get all that hype, and he's actually good in the majors, bro.
Unless the Reds,
they're going on a fucking
I think the
rampage.
Reds have the potential to go stupid, but I don't see it happening. I mean, Ellie by himself could go stupid. I don't know if the rest of the Reds are ready.
I don't know. They got
Oh, and
that's a
Bosh.
conversation for a different day because I like the Reds.
Yeah,
They got Strier and they got a whole bunch of good dudes there, but
yeah. And they got the second pick in this year's draft coming up.
which is fuck.
That
Yeah.
is loaded with bats. I'm gonna
Now,
get
who
into
are
that
your
another
guys,
time.
Wolf? Who are your MVP so far? You want me to lead that off?
I don't know where I put. No,
Oh,
I
I
had.
got mine.
I mean, there's a bunch right now, but just the three off the top of my head. Two for the AL is Trout and Soto, are in my opinion the two leaders, and we briefly mentioned it. Honestly, as of right now, unfortunately, Ozuna is probably him and Mookie are fighting for the top spot in the NL.
You got Trout and Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the AL, I'm gonna have to agree with
10 home runs, 13 RBI.
I'm gonna have to agree with Juan Soto, for the AL because like you can listen like you can say it's Bobby Witt, you
I
can say
will.
it's Trout. Yeah, I know you will. I like Gunnar Henderson personally. Like you can also make a case for him, but Juan Soto,
Gunner's amazing. Bro.
this goes beyond the stats. I mean, he still has beautiful stats. He's hitting 300. He hit a bomb today. He has a lot of RBIs. But it's what he's been able to do for New York. For the lack of better terms, they are flat-assed when it comes to their lineup. And what Soto has been able to interject into that team, the mentality, the attitude, and everything, he's reviving the
You said
Yankees.
flat ass, and you had the opportunity to say inject. Like, you mean Dr. Miami, since you was doing like a BBL kind of thing. I don't. Anyway,
But
I'm out.
I like Juan Soto. And then for the NL, listen, here's the crazy part, right? I woke up and I thought, it'd be funny if I said Marcelo Ozuna. And then I was like, you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
I think it's Mookie Betts. But when you really look at the stats, and some people might not want to admit it, because like I think he's just above baseball at this point. I gotta go with Shohei. I have to go with Shohei.
Yeah, that was the other
He's
one.
leading he's leading MLB in average. He's hitting 364. Leading in hits, obviously. Leading in doubles. Leading in slugging. Leading in OPS. Third in OBP. He hit the hardest ball hit in our Statcast era at like 118 miles per hour, whatever the hell it was.
It sounded crazy.
Gambling, whatever. I don't care. Maybe he's on steroids now, for all I fucking know. But Shohei Ohtani, now that he's locking in on just batting, is a freak of nature, and he's above Mookie. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll give you that.
Well, yeah, I already get ahead of that AO one. I'm so team Witt. It's crazy. You can't tell me nothing. Bobby Witt is the AL MVP right now. That's crazy coming from me as a Yankee fan. Juan Soto is. I can't leave my apartment without walking 10 feet and not hearing about Juan Soto. And I'm not even I will stop and engage with anybody about it. Like I will talk to anybody in New York City, let you know you're not bothering me about that man. He is amazing. With that said, Bobby Witt, man, I don't know how to. It's almost like, how do I want to use another sport for anybody that's checking this out and they're learning baseball. I almost want to compare him to John Morant because it's like the Memphis Grizzlies was like a bare bones team at one point. Of course, they were transitioning from Mike Conley. You know what I mean? They had their little glory years like the Royals did as well when they went to the chip. And then they tore things down. And then up comes this electric prospect, also drafted number 2, John Morant, making a little analogy. And he just gets the franchise back in contention. And I feel like Bobby Witt is the John Morant of baseball. He's that freaking electric. And he's literally going to take this team by the back collar and he's dragging them to the playoffs this year. It will be a wild card team. I was not as confident before when I went out on the limb and I said that the Royals would be the surprise team, but he's just reinforcing everything that I was
Salvador Perez is having a cool year so far too.
What's that?
Salvador Perez is having a cool year so far too.
Oh yeah. Anytime that he's has his little resurgences is just it's almost nostalgic when Salvi's doing his thing. And I, I won't even get too much into the Royals just yet, but yeah, man, him. And I'm gonna go with Mookie because just for the simple fact, his stats are bogus too. They're out of this world. And you going from the outfield to
Shortstop.
shortstop. I feel like that transition alone is like it just has to be commended. And playing a great shortstop too. He's not
No,
there
he's playing
just
a
there because anything
fantastic
else.
shortstop.
He's he looks like he never played another position other than that and other than shortstop. But yeah, those two. I got Bobby and I got Mookie.
But good. So, what are your guys' top 3 observations so far of the year? I'll go first. One, Ricky kind of talked about it. Juan Soto is generational. He's him. He's a king. And I think him and Judge are actually going to be really, really special when Judge gets going. Just based on what Juan Soto's provided this Yankees lineup, I mean, I could even go as far as to say I could see them in the World Series if Aaron Judge is to heat up the way that he can. Juan Soto keeps getting on base. That Juan Soto getting walked and Aaron Judge hitting a homer, you're going to hear about that a lot this year.
Oh yeah.
The second thing that I got is whatever is going on in Philly is spicy. I know you guys looked at me sideways when I said that the Phillies wouldn't make the playoffs, but I don't know. Zach Wheeler's doing a little bit better than I thought he would. Ranger Suarez is going off. They're getting really good pitching performances. I mean, you got JT Realmuto looking real good out there. Schwarber's still doing his thing. Turner heating up. They got Brandon Marsh having a really good fucking year out there. They have a lot going good in there. And the third thing is that once what was that? Oh, okay. Once all is figured out with pitcher injuries, with umps, I think the league is going to be in a wonderful spot. I think now more than ever, we have fans showing up. We have so many good players. It really doesn't feel like a couple of really good players anymore. It feels like it's really spread out throughout the league really nicely at this moment. I mean, we have amazing pitches, amazing pitchers pitching the pitches, a lot of tenacity, a lot of showboating,
Right.
a lot of anger. Like, I mean, like we've had so many benches clearing incidents already this year.
I'll say aggression.
Yeah, aggression, whatever it is. I think baseball is about to enter a golden era soon, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, that's what I got.
Solid.
Mm, I like it. I like that one.
Go for it.
I could throw one quick one out.
Now throw your 3. Let's get it.
All three. Boom, boom, boom. Houston Astros. Here these stats. This team
Damn Wolf.
is second in the league in batting average. Major League Baseball, tied for second in the major leagues in batting average. They're sixth in on base percentage. The majors. They're eighth in slugging. They're ninth in OPS. So it's like, oh, wait a minute. What the heck is going on then? Who'd have thought we'd ever see the Astros with the second to last worst ERA in baseball? Yo, what in the freak is going on? But that goes.
I
to
sat here and said
my
they had the
point.
best rotation.
We always talk about their pitching staff and
We thought they were
their
gonna be top of the
coaches
division.
and all
Josh
that.
Hader ain't
Like,
fucking hatering either.
Oh my gosh, yo, this is nuts. They're at the only team that has a higher ERA than them is you guessed it, Colorado Rockies at a 5.6.
Ew.
Like
Ew.
that's steroid era bad, but it's like, yo, all right. So at some point, the pendulum or whatever the Libra scale, whatever, I feel like, all right, Houston is raking, and if pitching is their problem, I think they're gonna figure it out. I say all that to say, Houston Astros fans, y'all can kind of breathe
And
easy.
I mean,
Y'all,
it's not like anyone's running away with
I
that
think at
division
some
so
point,
far. Like the Mariners are number 1 at 12-11, so it's not like anyone's running away.
oh yeah, oh yeah. At some point, they're gonna. I believe they'll continue to put up these numbers offensively, and they'll begin to, get the results on the mound that we know that
That's
they
fair.
can't. Even if they finish middle of the
That's
pack,
fair.
I think that's more realistic, considering where they are right now.
Yeah.
That second class is not Houston.
So what's your second one?
Oh, listen, man. This is why I'm here tonight. I'm here to talk about the Royals. But a lot was made about just what the heck am I talking about as far as the Royals? But honestly, a lot of this went back to last year. Like they were uh actually a team. They lost 106 games, which is like disgusting. But they actually performed like a 98 loss team. They finished last season after September 1st performing like a 68 win team, which is a 94 loss uh, team. And to close out last year, they actually went, I think, 15-12 or something along that. So, actually, no, they finished 15-12 after September 1st, and 12-5 to finish the season. A lot of that could be fool's gold. We've seen a lot of young teams, up and coming teams. They close the year out well, and then they fall on their face. But they've been doing it in the wonkiest way. I don't even know if it's sustainable. I'm gonna be real with you. Their second in starting pitchers innings pitched, right? They're second in the league in starting pitchers inning pitch. Not one pitcher has thrown 100 pitches in a start. Is one of the wonkiest stats in the world. Like, wait, y'all going the distance, but y'all not going the distance. So they've been getting efficient pitching, extremely efficient pitching, on top of having the best defense in the league. They're and the best defender in the entire league, by the way, Bobby Wood Jr. So it's an old school team of just athletes, clutch pitching. They don't
And
Cole
you know
Ragans.
what it gets them? Third in the AL Central.
You believe
Yeah,
in
that's about right.
Detroit that much?
Detroit's tied.
You
Detroit
believe?
has the same record as them.
Yes, but their best player, Riley Green, is hitting like 220 something.
Kerry Carpenter has
I
been on
don't
a
know.
goddamn tear. Javi Baez has turned
Uh,
it around a little bit.
you don't have no belief in your voice when you see that shit.
Yeah,
Brett
Yo,
Torkelson has
anyway,
been
I'm not too high
great.
on either of them.
Their pitching
I,
has been fucking good. Casey Mize has looked all right since he's came back. I mean, but
I believe
this
in
is
their
what I
pitching.
mean is like I don't want people to buy too much into the Royals hype yet, is because everything that you just mentioned is fine, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's cool, right? Like it's so good, but it's like they have a tied record with the fucking Tigers, and we just all said, "Oh man, yeah, they're all right, yeah, whatever." But I'm telling you, man, you gotta watch out for Detroit, bro. You gotta watch out for Cleveland. But
I get they give up the fifth least home runs in all of baseball. Like they have sustainable stats here. Like they're number one. They're number one in defensive runs saved. Like they have athletes everywhere, yo. I just really, yo, man, Vinny Pass at first base is hitting bombs, and yo, man, they got something here. They just need, they just need a front liner. It's to me, they're a lot like Baltimore a year or two ago, where if they go into next offseason and get that Corbin Burns, they could take off next year. But I'm saying I'm in love with this team. And my third observation is just that Otani is the GOAT.
the GOAT.
Don't get the papers out of here. Otani's the GOAT. There's nothing to talk about. Even with everything I said about Mookie Betts, he is the GOAT. This is stupid. Yo, I don't know what I was doing when I heard that home run, but I almost wanted to duck under a table. I thought someone was shooting. That shit was crazy. So that's it. That's my 3. Otani's the GOAT. You don't have to ask me about this no more. This shit's stupid.
So I only have 2 because I'm not gonna lie, which is crazy. You can see it there. Astros. That was literally the first thing I wrote on mine, and Ricky like stole the thunder on that.
Oh shoot.
I wrote Astros. Ouch. Yeah, the Astros have been pitiful this year, and I'm actually one of those bandwagon people that thought they were gonna be not even just great, but I thought they were definitely gonna be towards the top of the division. Out of all, honestly, to me, if you made an argument out of all teams, and let's just say at least the AL, that would be as bad as their record, I never would have guessed them in probably at least another 13.
Bro, the Athletics are currently better than the Astros. That's just crazy, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you took any team in their division, central, like maybe the Central, I'd be like, all right, like I can see Royals or somebody like that. Not even Royals, someone worse, but I'm shocked it's them. We kind of brought up like the Phillies pitching at some point. Like you brought up Phillies being a little underrated, so that was kind of talked about. The one thing that I want to talk about though, for my other observation, is Corbin Carroll has been.
I thought you were about to say
terrible
Patrick
this
Corbin because he's been pretty filthy.
No. Corbin Carroll not only is hitting he's almost under 200 now. They actually dropped him to 7th in the lineup. I saw it today. He's been brutal, and I really did not see that coming.
They're still doing
I have
decent.
in my fantasy league. Yeah, and they're still doing decent, but like I didn't think that because you've gotten at least a year and a half out of him so far.
Yeah.
So that was pretty surprising. And then the only other thing I'll quick add on to substitute the Astros thing. While I still think they're really good, and we brought up Otani, Mookie, other bats in their lineup, some couple arms, Yamamoto. We've seen from a few teams this year that the Dodgers can definitely be beaten. The Nationals have taken a series from them. The Mets have taken the series from them. The Padres, I think, have split or at least taken a series from them. They're definitely not the juggernaut that I thought they were. We knew their pitching was going to be a little lackluster, but even the other day when they lost to the Nationals, they lost 2-0. That had nothing to do with their pitching. It had to do with their bats. So, there is definitely a way to beat that team more than I thought. I honestly thought they were going to be one of the best teams I've ever seen in baseball. And, they're not
That
off on the
6 to
start
9
that I
was
thought.
always shaking to me. Their 6 to 9 in their order was always there.
Yeah,
I never was too I'm like 1 to 5 is freaking sparkling.
Dude, and even look at it with Gavin Lux this year. They already had to swap him out for Mookie at shortstop in the beginning of the year. Muncy was never what he was that one season. The rotation's a little shaky. Bullpen's got some holes. I'm not saying they're a bad team at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, honestly, I think if they went into a 5-7 game series, I think the Braves are still the better team.
Max Fried is back, man. Max Fried is fucking back.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, get on the train. Don't get off the train. We got a lot of content coming. This was episode 2 of a Built Different show. After next week, we're 2 episodes of this every week. We got a Star Wars episode coming. WWE is there.
Great.
This video game is about to get a revamp. So we're hyped for the content that we're going to give you. So everybody, have a good night wherever you're watching. Love you all.
Deep. Peace.